What is really going to happen when the stock market crashes? What is really going to go on when the stock market actually crashes? What a perfect video for today. Today was the worst day in the market in 2017. Well, I'm recording this as an hour and a half is still left in the market day. It looks like it will for sure be the worst day in the stock market in 2017 so far, guys. We're 4 or 5 months into the year, so it's a perfect story to kind of talk about today in retrospect to what's going on. And the question is, what really goes on during a stock market crash? Now, I know the majority of people, unfortunately, that watch my channel have not been through a stock market crash, have not participated, in coming out of the recession or anything like that. That's the majority of people that are going to watch this video right now. So I'm going to kind of explain to you guys and give you a history lesson on what's going to happen the next time we have a stock market crash, a big recession. Now, a stock market crash is not the market going down 5, 10, 15%. That's not a stock market crash. A stock market crash is the stock market going down 25, 35, 45% in a 3 to 6 month span. That's a stock market crash. A 5, 10% move, that's just a correction. That's just a correction, guys. And I'm actually welcoming a correction. So the fact that the stock market dropped today, I'm like, keep going, baby. We got a long way to go. I want another 10% down. That would be nice to me. That's what I want. But a correction and a stock market crash, two totally different things, guys. So let's go ahead and get into this. I got 7 points to give to you guys today on what's going to really happen when a stock market crash happens, so you guys can be ready for that and know, am I in this category or not? Number one, what's the number one thing that's going to happen is most retail investors are going to fly away. They're going to fly away. They're going to fly away from the stock market probably forever, or maybe until the next bubble or something like that happens, guys. They're going to fly away. What happens is when the stock market's good, a lot of people start getting in, they start getting interested in it, things like that, guys. And when things get bad, when things get ugly, when the stock market begins to sell off in a major way, when it's at, drops that 30%, 40%, and people are like, they just can't take the pain anymore, which is the most retail investors, they're just going to get out. They're just going to sell out. And the ones that probably got in within the last year or two are going to think, it's a year or two in respect to, when the recession happens. Now, one thing I just want to say, in 2017, as I've stated many times on this channel, I would say there's like a 95% chance that there will not be a recession in 2017. 2018, I haven't made my prediction yet, but 2017, there's a 95% chance there will not be a recession. So I just want to make that clear. So I'm not like, doing a doomsday video here, because I don't see doom and gloom, at least in this year. Who knows in the future? I can't judge out that far. I can't judge out December 2018. That's a year and a half from now. Who knows what a lot of things can change in the world in that amount of time. So, but most retail investors will leave the market, and that's exactly what happened in 2008, 2009 recession. A lot of people got involved in 2006, 2007 going in there, and they got destroyed. They got absolutely destroyed. A lot of their wealth got destroyed, and many people got out of the market and have never come back and have just been against the market. And some have come back in the last year or two, which might be a little worrisome. And I'm not saying, anything's going to happen anytime soon, but it's just like, it's interesting to me that some of those people have come back to the market now when we're way up here. And it's like, why did you sell out when it was way low? And now you're buying in when it's way high. So that's the first thing, guys. A lot of retail investors will leave the stock market in droves. They'll lose a lot of money and they just won't come back. And it's a lot of the weak-minded individuals, which a lot of retail investors are, unfortunately. I would say 80% of retail investors. And this is painful for me to see, because a lot of people on my channel fall into this category, and I hate to, box people in, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that are weak-minded individuals that are just getting in stocks right now just because they're at highs or something like that, not because they're genuinely interested in it. There's a lot of people that are not genuinely interested in the stock market. They're just genuinely interested in how to make a buck as quick as possible. No different than if Pokemon cards were selling real great right now, they would be the ones trying to figure out, how do I grab a Pokemon card so I can try to flip it for a couple bucks. So those people, the weak-minded ones, the ones that aren't really in this for the long haul, those are the people I'm talking about that are leaving. And maybe you're in that situation, and don't hate me for that. You can hit the thumbs down button if you don't agree with me on that and you're butthurt about it, but I gotta be truthful. It's a lot of people on my channel that are fall into this category of weak-minded individuals that are just in it for the quick buck, and because a stock market's near all-time highs, and they think, oh, I saw my friend, he made $1,000 last week, I can make some money on this, let me just jump in and throw some money in, and those people are going to get killed, and I don't feel bad for them at all. I really don't. Number 2. Stock market interest will go down drastically. Stock market interest will go down drastically. Like I just said, when the stock market is highest, everybody's trying to find out about the stock market. Everybody's trying to learn about the stock market. Interest in the stock market goes way up. I mean, financial channels on TV, their views are generally highest when the market's doing the absolute best, guys. So interest in the stock market goes to all-time highs. You see a lot of people talking about it, all those kinds of things. When the stock market crash happens, it's like impossible to find someone to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about the stock market when it's been hammered. I couldn't find anybody to talk to in 2010 about the stock market. 2009 when I was actually getting involved in the stock market. 2009 especially. 2010. Unless 2009, you know who did want to talk about it? People that want to just, say how bad it was. Oh my gosh, the stock market's so bad. What a piece of crap and this and that. 2010 I couldn't really find people. 2012 or 2011, 2012 I couldn't really find people. 2013 I started to find people. 2014 a little bit. 2015, and now in the recent years, and obviously since I started this channel, there's a lot more people interested in the stock market. But when the stock market crash happens, whenever the next one happens, guys, the interest in the stock market as a whole is going to go down drastically, which leads me to point number 3, which will directly affect me. What will happen is this channel's views will go down substantially. Substantially, this channel's views will go down. Not necessarily the videos I post every day, but I'm talking about the long tail content. The videos I created 6 months ago, 12 months ago, that are videos that are for stock market for beginners. Those type of videos, I have a stock market for beginners video on this channel. It brings in 500 to 700 views just in that one video per day. I bet you any money in a stock market crash, that video would go down to getting about 50 views a day. I can almost guarantee it. I would bet any money on that. It would go down to about 50 views a day. And I would be blessing those 50 people that are looking into it at that time, because those are going to be the real winners, guys. But yeah, I can guarantee you that would happen. Views on this channel go way down. Book sales, this book, it would go to shit in a heartbeat, because no one would be interested in the stock market. A lot of people are not interested when things are bad. They're just like, oh man, that's a scam, that's bad, I can lose money. Look at all my friends lost money, my family members lost money, everybody's losing money. I don't want to even be anywhere near the stock market. I mean, if this book's selling, let's say 50 to 100 units a week right now, it would probably go down to 5 units a week. It would. I just know that. So views on this channel would get killed. I would get affected by that. Book sales would go down drastically. The whole stock market thing would go down a drastic amount, guys. It would, because the weak-minded individuals, which make up a lot of the views and things like that, the ones that just come on, or like I talked about, are just trying to make a quick buck and try to get out. They're not in it for the long game. They're not passionate about the stock market. Those ones are going to be swept to the wayside, and they're not going to be interested in it anymore at that point, guys. It's facts. Number 4. Strong-minded people will begin to learn about the stock market. Remember I said there'll be that 50 people that are coming in to learn about the stock market at that time? Those are going to be the winners. Those are the ones that can, when everybody's saying, don't go that way, they're the brave ones that say, you know what, I think this is the way to go. They're the ones that are the contrarians that are saying, you know what, everybody's running from it right now. Now's when I need to go learn about the stock market. It's at all-time lows, or, well, not all-time lows, obviously, that's impossible, because we have to go to 1 point or something like that on the Dow. But at, lowest they've been in 2 years, or 3 years, or 5 years, or 8 years, or whatever this scenario is, and they'll see opportunity there and be like, you know what, I got to learn what I got to learn about the stock market. No different than I did when I was in 2009, when I was learning about the stock market and first started investing in stocks. I bought my first stock in 2009. It was the depths of the recession. It was the time no one wanted to be in the stock market. It was like, one of those Western films when they're walking through the town on a horse and there's no one in the town. Like, that's how I felt when I was getting involved with the stock market. It was me and it was me alone and no one else cared. And if I told anybody I was getting involved, they said, don't do it, Jeremy, don't do it. So strong-minded people will begin to get in the market and they're going to be big winners in that, guys. Number 5. Over-leveraged, too heavy capital structure businesses will fail. What happens is during good times, a lot of companies take out a lot of debt. Okay, and I'm not necessarily talking about big, huge companies like the ones we might invest in. I'm talking about like mid-sized companies that might have 50 employees to 500 employees, okay? Those are the type of companies I'm talking about that might take out a lot of debt, might put their capital structure too high, meaning they're hiring in too many employees, their costs are too high, all those kinds of things, but they're getting away with it because the economy is good, right? The economy is good and they can do their things and whatever's needed, they can get it done, right? So that happens, and then all of a sudden, a recession happens, a stock market crash happens, this all happens, and the world's just unraveling, the world's in flames. And all of a sudden, 50% of their customers are gone, the 50% that are left are spending much less with them than what they were spending before. And they have a ton of debt, and they have way too heavy of a capital structure. So they begin to cut jobs like crazy, and a lot of them, they just don't cut the jobs fast enough, they're losing money too fast, they can't pay their debt. And what happens? A lot of them go out of business or they sell for a basement level price to some other big company who might have been in a little better position at that time, guys. That happens. That will happen. Number 6, A player entrepreneurs will start successful businesses. Every single time there's a recession, every single time, stock market crash happens, every time, the whole economy goes down, there's some A-player entrepreneurs that start successful businesses in that time frame, and they actually build them to be great big businesses. It constantly happens, guys. A-player entrepreneurs will come in and they'll see opportunities where some of these businesses failed and they lost customers, and they're going to say, okay, well, guess what? The economy's probably going to get back good because what always happens, the economy bounces back 6 months, 12 months, year and a half later. Those A-player entrepreneurs are going to see opportunity, see customers that maybe used to be that old company's customers. They're going to go after those. They're going to start a business that goes after those customers. They're going to win those customers, and they're going to win a whole lot more customers because then they're going to be in a position of power. And a lot of times, if they're starting a business, it might only be one person or two people starting it. So their capital structure is like way down here compared to the one that was like way up here, right? So they're coming in and they got the advantage. They got the ball in their court because they can pivot, they can do whatever they need to do quick, and they don't have to worry about all these hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions and tens of millions of dollars of cost each month. So A-level entrepreneurs, they're going to come in, they're going to make successful businesses in that time. It's one of the best times to start a business because one, you don't have a lot of people spending money, so you're going to know if you can make a success in your first year in a recession or a recession type environment, then you're going to for sure be good like when things get better, right? So you're going to know right off the bat, man, I made a success of this in this type of economy. It's going to give you a lot of confidence that you're going to be able to succeed in a good economy, right? So that's a big thing there, guys. And number 7, the last one here is businesses that have always focused long-term are going to thrive in this environment. Doesn't mean they'll necessarily make record profits. That's not what it means at all. That just means if they focus long-term, they're going to do a lot better than their competitors. They're going to outperform their competitors, whether competitors maybe go unprofitable, whether competitors might go bankrupt, the ones that might have been focusing more short-term, making short-term decisions. The great long-term run company, that's going to be succeeding. And that one's still going to be profitable. And they're still going to find ways to make money. And they're going to be finding ways to take the customers that used to be with that company away because they're in a better position financially, guys. And it always, always happens. The long-term winners are the ones that didn't get over-leveraged when things were great. Those are the ones that win because a recession is a horrible thing to waste. And the companies that have some money on that balance sheet, have some cash to spend, those are the ones that are going to succeed because they're going to be able to buy assets at basement level prices, right? They're going to be able to buy, assets at this price Whereas before, other ones might have been buying assets at this price. You know, whether it's land that they need, whether it's building, whether it's, you know, more equipment, whatever it is they pretty much want or need. Maybe there's some stock price. You know, maybe it's a public company. They can buy back shares so cheap at that time if it's during a recession. So those companies that are focused more long term, they're going to be able to benefit more than anyone in a recession type environment. And just kind of like closing my thoughts on like a recession, stock market crash and whatnot. It's good. It's healthy. It's good and it's healthy. It's painful, absolutely. But you know what? I look at it as like life, right? You're born and there's new life to a new human, and there's death, right? And death's always kind of painful, but out of death comes some good things because it washes away the old and it brings in the whole new thing. And hopefully as humanity goes on, as people die off, things get a little better and we get a little better and we fix things a little bit better. So it's just a natural progression of life, and that's what happens kind of during the stock market. You know, just during the economy in general, I just view it as life and death. You know, things are great and things are coming up in life, and then death happens. And then out of that death, new life breathes form, and a lot of companies die off, right, during those times, and a bunch of new companies are born. I mean, look at the amount of companies that were built from 2000, let's say 2000, we didn't even go to 2008, because that's really when the recession happened, or started happening, right? 2008 to 2000, let's say 10. Look at how many companies were started in that amount of time. A lot of them, guys. A lot of them. And a lot of them are very successful now. So hope you guys enjoyed this today. Just talking about what's going to happen when the stock market crashes, what's going to happen when the next recession comes. Let me know what you guys think in that comment section. If you've actually been through it before like I have, it's an interesting time. It's a very interesting time. And I can't say that I don't look forward to it a little bit, because I know I'm going to have so many opportunities out there to take advantage of so many different things that I'm just kind of salivating right now. Anyways, and that's kind of like, it's funny if you watch Gary Vaynerchuk on his channel, he preaches that a lot. You know, he's always like, I can't wait for the world to burn. And I'm kind of like, I kind of agree a little bit with you, Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk there, because it's like, you know, there's a lot of people that are these peacetime generals, like he always says, and, you know, are just kind of getting by right now because the economy's good and they can just float their boat, right? But when the shit hits the fan, it's a total different ballgame, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you just came across this channel, you may want to subscribe. We talk personal finance. We talk entrepreneurship. I talk the stock market the most of anything. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.